computer hacker attacks against smartphones. I've divided my talk into 4 parts. Part 1 will be about attacks on your smartphone based on normal communication. Part 2 will be about attacks based on vulnerabilities in smartphone software. Part 3 will be about malicious software. And finally, part 4, which will be about countermeasures you can take. My talk will take about 7 minutes. Let's start with part 1, attacks based on normal communication. By normal communication, I mean the use of MMSs, SMSs, and Wi-Fi. Some attacks on smartphones can be caused by poor management of MMSs. For example, an attack can start with a smartphone sending an MMS to your smartphone with an attachment that is infected with a virus. The receiving smartphone opens the attachment and voila, it is infected. Then the virus in the newly infected phone sends out MMSs with the infected file to all the contacts in the address book. It could go on forever. Regarding SMSs, it is possible to perform a denial of service attack against the full mobile telecommunications infrastructure of a big city by sending many SMSs from the internet. It would be similar to the denial of service attack hackers use to temporarily shut down a website, but this could shut down the whole mobile telecommunications infrastructure, preventing use of all mobile phones. In addition to attacks based on MMSs and SMSs, there are attacks based on Wi-Fi communication. An attacker can eavesdrop on Wi-Fi communications and collect sensitive information such as usernames and passwords. So, normal communication is not so secure. That completes part 1, attacks via normal communication. Now for part 2, which is about attacks based on vulnerabilities in smartphone software. More specifically, web browser software and smartphone operating system software. The mobile web browser is an emerging attack vector for hackers. You've all heard of jailbreaking the iPhone. That was due to vulnerabilities in the web browser. Similarly to the web browser, there are vulnerabilities in the operating system softwares of smartphones. For example, in 2004 and in 2008, vulnerabilities in the Nokia Symbian operating system were revealed. So attacks based on imperfect software are already occurring and are increasing in scope. That's all for part 1, attacks via software. Now I will move on to part 3, which is malicious software, commonly known as malware. The following examples of malware already exist. Kabir, a computer worm developed in 2004, 8 years ago. It was designed to infect the Symbian operating system. Phage, a virus that infects the Palm operating system. Red Browser, a Trojan based on Java. Oh, another one, WinCE.pmcryptic.a, malicious software that infects Windows Mobile. And the last one I want to tell you about, which I find quite interesting, FlexiSpy. This is an application based on the Symbian operating system. This malware sends all information received and sent by the infected cell phone to a FlexiSpy server. It was originally designed to spy on adulterous spouses or unfaithful girlfriends, boyfriends, and lovers, so be careful. That was a small selection of existing malware. That's all for part 3, malicious software. Now I want to tell you about part 4, countermeasures you can take to increase your smartphone security. The first countermeasure is being skeptical. Don't believe and accept everything you receive, because some multimedia messages, some applications, some attachments may be malicious software. Therefore, it is advisable to check the reputation of the application or the true source of the email link or MMS. A second countermeasure is ensuring data. Smartphones hold large amounts of data. Some people are using smartphones in place of cash and credit cards, so you must ensure that your data is not sent to the wrong people. A third countermeasure is being careful. A few simple gestures and precautions are locking your smartphone, not leaving your smartphone unattended, not trusting all applications, and encrypting sensitive data. Okay, that completes part 4, countermeasures, which brings me to the end of my talk. In summary, smartphones can be attacked via normal communication and through vulnerabilities in smartphone software. I highly recommend that you implement encryption techniques and begin using smartphone antivirus software. Thank you all for your attention. Toastmaster, back to you.